What is up, fellow benchwarmers? It's week 2 Judgment Day, and this is your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, week 2 Judgment Day. How are your teams? How did your teams do? Kamish, of course,
Yes.
with us. Kamish,
Yes.
how's your teams this week?
Not as good as the first week. Lost some, won some. So that's how it is. Some of my teams were decimated by injuries. I had Brogdon, Porzingis. I have Noel. I'm stashing Pascal in one league. So tough, but just have to try to close the gap. That's what I tried to do, but I made some mistakes today. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, if you lose 4 or 5, that's fine. Maybe 3-6, the worst case. It's so painful if you lose like a 2-7 or a 1-8.
I lost 3-6 to JC. JC.
Ah, right. The Champions League.
I made a mistake. I did not. I forgot. We were tied in free throws, and I was up by 1 3-pointer or 6 3-pointers, and then I was still thinking last night if I'm gonna play De'Aaron Fox, Mike Conley, because Fox is terrible in free throws.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, and I think I fell asleep, and when I woke up, they already played. He was able to overtake me in 3 points. Good thing in our league it's a daily what do you call
Today.
that? Today. So I was able to pick up Eric Gordon last minute to
And
play
he had
him.
what, 4 or 5 3
He had 4 or 5 3-pointers, so I was able to win the 3-pointers. But the free throws, Eric Gordon was 5 out of 7.
So he missed 2.
He missed 2. And Alperen Sengun, which was his player, was 5 out of 6. So he won. He won by 0.0 something. So it's 3-6. It should have been 4-5. If I played Mike Conley, it should have been 4-5. Which was what I was planning to do. But, well, that's how it is.
That's how it is. That's what happens. But yeah, that's
If you
another,
overthink.
I guess that's another advantage of the daily today.
Yes.
Is that you can, if you missed out on certain things, you can stream on the day itself. And that could help you as well. Although in a 14-team league, it's not as easy to stream as well because many are streaming and a lot of players would be on the waivers. So it's eventually you'll run out of players to stream. So if you can find a good one there, maybe you would want to hold on to him a little longer, right? So let's get on with our quickie. Let's start with the worry, so we'll have more time to talk about these worry players. Isaiah Stewart, I don't know how to start, but another stinker.
Beef stew. This is rock bottom, I guess. 5 points, 1 rebound, 18 minutes. Basically did nothing.
So I've watched both 2 games already of Detroit.
So how is it? What's your take on Isaiah?
I always watch like the second half or maybe close to the end, like the fourth quarter. I never see him there.
So you haven't seen him? You haven't seen him yet?
I haven't seen him. Because every time I tune in, like it's the fourth quarter, and usually it's, even if it's close, it's Olynyk who's finishing the games. And if you watch Olynyk, he is good. I mean, he is really good fantasy-wise because he gives you a lot of stuff, right? He can shoot the threes, he could pass, he could facilitate, he could rebound, he could defend. So much stuff that Olynyk is giving, and I could understand why they're not putting in Stewart at the end of games.
But even I guess that's understandable. We kind of predicted this could happen because Olynyk is good. Better than Plumlee for sure. So actually the only difference was Plumlee was a starter. They traded him away, got Olynyk, made him the backup, but he's actually better than the starter that they traded away. So whatever it is, we expected that. The disappointing part is even in 18 minutes, we hope that he would at least maybe get 7, 8 rebounds in 18 minutes, being the center, maybe a block, right? So 5 points, 1 rebound is even worse than Hassan Whiteside, right?
Yeah, Hassan
Even worse,
has been
yeah,
what, averaging 2 blocks a game.
and around 6, 7 rebounds.
Yeah, and it's hard to even stream Hassan right now because you probably won't get him back if you drop him,
Yes,
right?
that's
So
true.
because I
That's
have
true.
in one league, I wanted to stream a spot, and probably Hassan was the player I was thinking of dropping, but I just realized that I probably won't get Hassan back. But uh, although Stewart obviously is not a stream player, but I think, yeah, like you said, it's rock bottom.
In their leagues, I've heard someone offer really terrible players for Stewart, and they were asking me if they should they should agree. I said yes, go. I forgot who they were offering, but the players they were offering were like outside of 150 level. So
Mhm.
that was how low his value is. But in our leagues, most of our leagues, it's really tough to even trade for Isaiah Stewart, even if
Yep.
I'm trying to buy low, of course, but it's tough. I tried to offer Plumlee. I even tried to offer Nikhil Alexander Walker, those kinds of players, but the managers are smart, are smarter, and I think they're correct. The reasoning is, uh, well, is I guess it's only week 2. Let's give him
Yep.
a couple more weeks, and so it's hard. It's hard right now
Yeah,
for
and
managers.
and for those Stewart owners, you don't really need to panic yet, especially if your team is really not that far off. Like if you lose 4-5, and maybe if you look at the stats, it's not even the stats that Stewart gives you where you lost, right? So you still have to assess that before giving away Stewart for anyone or any low ball off or lower ranked player offers.
I was trying to get Stewart for Kristaps. I have Kristaps. Then I changed my mind because at the last minute, actually I already had the offer, but the manager, I was asking Jeremy why this manager was not active this year because I had an offer for 2 to 3 days already with Stewart
Oh, all right.
and Kristaps, and he was not answering. So I canceled the offer. I was gonna PM private message the manager so that we could talk, but then I decided against it because I was thinking,
After today's
that's
game,
no, well, I was not afraid of today's game. I was thinking, that's not buying low, right? I mean,
that's
Kristaps is
not buying
also
low. That's
low.
not buying low.
Yeah, that's not buying low. I'm being emotional because I hate what Kristaps is doing to my team, but that's wrong. That's not the way to do it. So I changed my mind. I'll just wait for Kristaps to come back. If you want to buy low, and I say it should be really low. That's what I think because it's very risky.
No,
I d-
how low do you get to get Stewart?
Plumlee, I'm okay. Plumlee, I'm okay. Wendell, no.
If you're Stewart, if you have Stewart, how low are you willing to get? Like if you are offered Plumlee, you're willing to give him.
Honestly, no.
No, something. Of course, it's a two-way thing, right? Something
Maybe
that
if they offer me
PJ Washington,
Washington.
right? That's
Yeah.
low enough. I mean, that's not too high, not too low. That's quite
I
fair.
might consider. I might consider PJ. Plumlee, I won't. But those are the deals that maybe you could try.
Yeah,
Maybe the manager would see that Plumlee's starting and,
yeah.
has a little stats here and there.
PJ is a more reasonable player. Like you know, for someone who has Stewart, might consider PJ.
I'm thinking Brook Lopez because he's been out for so long. The manager of Brook Lopez might say, at least this guy's healthy, so give it to me. And then you just wait for Brook Lopez to come back, right?
Yeah,
Because
yep. That's another.
I really don't know if Isaiah Stewart is good. That is my question right now. Maybe last year was was a fluke. We don't know. There's not much history to go with Isaiah Stewart, so
Yeah,
I'm kind of thinking
yeah.
thinking
We
hard.
still don't know. But Isaiah Stewart is a young player. He is a
Yeah.
sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a few years ago, right? Jarrett Allen had the similar, like he was being picked second round, third
Mm-hmm.
round, and then he
Mm-hmm.
flopped during that year. Before gaining again confidence of managers to pick him earlier. So maybe it's let's see what happens here. It's still early, second week. A teammate of Isaiah Stewart, Jeremy Grant, is another worry player.
Yes, I'm worried with, but I already thought that he was overdrafted in the draft. But he started
At
well. He had the
80s, he's been drafted at the 80s, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people were, some people were saying that was a steal because of what he did the previous year. But and he started well. He had a 22.2 steal 4 block game, and he has 2 games with 4 blocks already. But uh, I feel any minor injury, he's gonna sit. I think like he missed 1 game with elbow infection. The Detroit is worse than last year, as I said. So I don't know how until when he's gonna play. I'm more sure he's gonna be rested than SGA, if you're asking me. And then I think Cade Cunningham. I think there would be some effects on him
The
when
thing
Cade
with
comes back.
Jeremy Grant, if you observe the trend last year, it was really even while he was playing still, even when he plays, it's not the level of when he started. He started really strong last year, but
Yes.
towards the end, he was not as good anymore as when he started.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of, because I have a couple of Jeremy Grants last year, um, and yeah, at the start it was really nice to have him, but if you look at the end, if you are in the playoffs, even when he plays, he's not at that level already. So I think yeah, 80 might be a little too high, but I think still
He's actually ranked 83 to 8. I think 83 or 87, right, this year.
yeah.
Even with the struggles we did after the game a while ago. So he's not bad. It's just that I think there's a expiration date in his value. So you could easily have top 80 player for the first few weeks, first 10, 11 maybe weeks. And then and then lose him all together when you need him the most in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can find a trade partner, go. But plus ones, maybe he could be your plus one in trade deals. So just explore trade deals. I think right now he still has some value, but I
Yeah.
don't know in a month or 2 months if that will still be the case.
Again, I think Jeremy Grant is another player that's pretty hard to trade.
True.
Not, I think the easiest time to trade him was last year when he started really strong, and it wasn't even easy to trade him at that point because no one
Actually,
really expected him to continue
let's
it.
talk about Detroit. The whole Detroit team is hard to trade. Maybe except Isaiah Stewart, who will still have value because he's a center. Only Nick maybe, but Detroit is terrible. I'm worried about Cade. I don't know how he would, perform in such culture, a losing culture. Killian Hayes, 5 steals today, but still not an ad. Still a drop for me. Killian Hayes.
Yeah. So Detroit and Jeremy Grant, and other worry players. We talked about these players already before. Dame Lillard and De'Aaron Fox. Dame is really struggling.
Ice cold, right?
Yeah, I watched some parts of the game a while ago, and really, the shots aren't even bad, right? He's not even taking those, half court shots or the logo shots. He just can't make them.
And his effective field goal percentage is lower than Russell Westbrook. And that says a lot about how he's shooting this year. If he's shooting worse than Westbrook, you're up for big trouble, really. And a lot of managers still texting or actually messaging me about Lillard, and I told them, you guys can decide what you think about Lillard, but my advice is really that it's still a buy low for Lillard. Still a buy low. If I can get him we already talked about it, what kind of players and everything. That still holds for me.
Yeah.
The shots are not falling, but do we really believe that he's gonna average 18 points and 30% shooting the whole season? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It may take 5 weeks. It may take 6 weeks. It may take 30 games. But I'm sure he's gonna get at least slowly get better.
At one point, he's gonna get going, and
Yeah, at one point.
we just don't know when that would be, or how long can he sustain that run again, because he's struggling. And the only good thing about Lillard is that his assist numbers has gone up.
Yes,
He got another 10 assists or 11 assists?
12, I think.
12
I
assists
think today,
today.
12 assists.
So at least there's that, because before he wasn't even having that much assist.
And if he's really injured, maybe the more time,
yeah,
will help the injury heal, or at least feel better.
Or make him adjust better.
Yeah.
The Aaron Fox still struggling.
Now Fox is a different story for me. I know he's a shoulder injury also. According to reports, he also has a shoulder injury. So that might be why his shooting is terrible. But remember in the draft, we said 100% free throw shooting. Right now, it's 61%. And not even, it's going down. It's going down. So it's different. For Lillard, I'm still bullish on Lillard in the sense that if you can buy low on him. On Fox, depends on what kind of buy low you get, because be careful with the percentages with Fox. I don't think it will normalize. The free throw will be that percentage. So be careful.
And one thing I noticed, he is not as aggressive as last year. With driving,
True.
He's not as aggressive driving to the lane, attacking the basket. I mean, if you are worried about certain players, maybe you should watch a game or two and see what's happening or what's going on there. And to see if, like Lillard's case, it's not that he isn't aggressive and he's deferring. It's not that. He's just not making it. For Fox's case, he is not really aggressive.
Passive, kind of deferring.
Last year, he was really aggressive. He was attacking the basket. He was really good. This year,
the demeanor, right? The demeanor is different. I mean, last year he was like what Ja is right now.
Yeah.
Maybe not as impressive as Ja right now, but the way he's motivated, he's into the game. He's really full of energy. The young player kind that really wants to prove himself. That was him last year. This year, it's kind of like I don't know what's wrong. I really don't know what's wrong. He's deferring too much to the other players. And they're winning in a sense that they're not really doing bad. So maybe he
I was just about to say they are winning, and maybe there were some changes
in the system.
So we still don't know, but he is not as aggressive. So that
I'll
worries.
Stay away with Fox.
Yeah.
In general.
Just don't buy. I mean, I don't think it's worth it. He's not even good in free throws. So at least if he doesn't make all those other counting stats, he's gonna give you worse numbers because the free throws aren't even good, right? And and last of our worry player, of course, what would be a year of fantasy without talking about a worry player named Robert Covington. Every year.
Robert Covington.
Every year, this guy pops up in the worry list.
If you have Covington, what would you do?
And every year, this is probably what we're gonna say. Just hold on and wait for him. He will get there.
Jeremy knows that I was one of the big Robert Covington fans years back. I haven't owned him for last 2 to 3 seasons because of situations like this. But I'm a fan because of what he can do. He's averaging 1 steal, 1 block, 1 3-pointers this year. But of course, the problem is 32% shooting, 5 points, 5 rebounds. Those are bad. So, but he's still, because of the 1-1-1, he's still in the top. I think 120, something like that, 130. I'm not too sure.
Yep.
So he's still a player you could roster. And as Jeremy said, he will have stretches like this. Wait for the 20-point game. It will come. When the 20-point game comes, then he'll be better.
Yeah, and it's a new system again. So maybe this could be correlated with the Dame Lillard struggles. So let's
So
see.
who
But
would you rather have, Covington or Stewart?
um, I guess Stewart.
That's easy. So
No, I think it could depend on the type of team I have. If I really need some threes, Covington could be a player I could use more than Stewart, right?
what
But
if it's
it's more
Coving?
rebounding or the defensive stats. I'd probably lean towards Stewart more. Younger. I
Yes.
mean, overall, I think it's still Stewart for me. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Covington in the past few years because I feel like he is regressing a bit. So I don't, you know,
Would you
I'm not
rather
really a
have
big fan.
Covington or Plumlee?
Covington. I have Plumlee in my Roto League and I am so annoyed.
You have to drop him in. Not drop him. You have to sit him for the meantime in Roto.
That's my problem because I have very few centers and I am dead last in rebounding. and he's one of the guys who can rebound. Unfortunately, the free throws are just killing me.
Yeah, let's add him to the worthy players. I think he should be in the worthy players because he's droppable, I think, already. Plumlee. I think he's droppable.
PJ Washington
Especially in
is.
Roto. Especially in Roto.
I don't even know why I picked him, but I really needed some bigs. But yeah, anyway, I need to sort my Roto out.
I had Plumlee last year in Roto also. In one of my Roto leagues, I had him. And luckily and surprisingly, in the first 2 to 3 months of last year, he was shooting free throws well. He was, I think, around 70% to 75%, if I'm not mistaken. Because when I picked him, manager texted me or vibered me and said, "Why did you pick that guy? He's going to destroy your free throw." I said, I don't think he's going to shoot a lot of free throws. That's my answer. That was what I was thinking. And then he had a game where he had 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8. He had games like that. So I was like very happy. But then, of course, what happened in the end, he was rested and everything. But I was able to squeeze the value early on. This year is a different story.
Yeah.
Different story.
And the counting stats aren't even as good as last year.
It's okay with the counting stats, but the free throws are really bad. Like 1 out of 4, 0 out of 4.
Well, actually, I think it's a league-wide struggle as well. I've seen, pretty bad numbers from other good shooters who are not having good free throw percentages as well. But of course, Bromley is a different guy. Of course, you don't really expect him to shoot free throws. For the other guys,
I hope he doesn't shoot.
Yeah. So yeah, there. Those are our worthy players. Let's move on to some feel-good players. Richaun Holmes, top 20 so far.
Yes.
This year.
He's quietly in the top 10, actually. He's number 8 this year. And, when I look...
He's always a quiet fantasy producer.
You know what's funny? Like, he's a quiet fantasy producer. Last year, he was picked 90s.
Yep.
He was one of my steals last year. That's why I won my leagues. 90s, and he was top 40. Right?
Yeah. This year, he was around 40s.
And now he's top 10. I'm not sure. I don't think he's gonna sustain this, but still, I think he's possible for him to be a top 20 guy. Although the field goal 71%, the free throws 94%, no turnovers, 0.8 turnovers.
So I think he has
unbelievable.
Slowly become the John Collins type of player. Right?
Yeah.
John Collins has, somehow been up and down because of Capella being there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very deep Atlanta team. Richaun Holmes, is more geared towards, being able to keep this going.
Yes.
Because he really doesn't have any backup there that can threaten his position. Well,
Alex Len is there. So we were all scared in the
Tristan Thompson.
preseason because of Luke Walton. I don't know who's the worst coach, Luke Walton or Jason Kidd, but it's close. And that was one of the reasons I was really, really worried about him. But I still picked him because I believe that among the bigs, he's the most efficient and he's the most complete in the sense that he won't hurt you anywhere. No stats, free throw, turnover. He gives you blocks, steals.
And interestingly, when you go through during the drafts, if you look into the rankings and you see Richaun Holmes there at the top 40s, you would think twice, right?
Yes,
about picking him,
right?
Like you would feel like, I think it's too high to pick Richaun Holmes at 40, right?
But if he wasn't in Sacramento, you wouldn't think that. The fact that he's in Sacramento, a lot of managers were telling me, "What do you think about Bagley? What do you think about Tristan Thompson? What do you think about this, about that?" There's so many centers, and honestly, I told them, yeah, that's possible. They might play Bagley because it's Sacramento.
Yeah,
but they're doing the right thing. They bench Bagley, right, and they're not giving Alex Len so many minutes. So
let's just hope they continue winning, because if they continue this, somehow if they start losing, then they might make some adjustments and play some other guys more. So let's just hope they continue winning. And Russell Westbrook, another feel-good guy, has been playing well. Now, today he played with LeBron.
LeBron. The past 2 games he played with LeBron and he's averaged 17, 8, 8, I think, and then good shooting. The more important is the three points. He had 2 again today. And I think he did how many the other day with LeBron. So that if he can get 1 or 2 3-pointers, it's going to be big.
No, and but also you have to watch the games, guys. If you watch the Lakers now, they're a totally different team compared to the first few games. They're letting Russell Westbrook do some things that he normally does, right? Attacking the basket. They're giving him some freedom to do those things.
And they're staggering the minutes.
Yeah, they're staggering the minutes, and then they're letting like LeBron do his thing as well from time to time, letting AD do his thing from time to time. In fact, AD's usage has been lessened because of these types of changes. So
that's true. That's valid. That's a valid observation.
Yeah, that's what I observed in today's game. Like AD wasn't as attacking as much, but of course you still get the stats because he's the center. So he still get those blocks, those rebounds. But as far as scoring goes, I think they're really trying to get everyone going.
That's true. If you're asking if we're afraid, if we're scared of, nervous about AD, no. As long as he's healthy, even with the decrease in usage, he's gonna be a first rounder. Even in the decrease in usage, he's gonna be a first rounder.
He can give you a lot. And he gave Commission I 3 assists today.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we needed. 3 assists, and he made it. He gave us that.
And when you watch him, it's not that the usage is intentionally being taken away from him. He's also trying to help the others, I guess. That's the way to say it. He's trying to help Carmelo.
Yeah,
to help Russell.
You just watch the games, and the Lakers offense is a little more fluid than the early part of the season. So I think the early first week of the season. So hopefully it gets better and they'll find a better groove. Of all the struggling first rounders, this guy Giannis Antetokoumnpo is still solid, shooting 71% from the 71%.
We'll take that.
He is getting close to that 68% or 67% that he shot last year.
But if he ends up at 67 or 68, we'll take that. I'll take it. I don't know if you own him. I think you'll be happy if it's 67 or 68.
We don't everyone who drafted him probably expected him to shoot like 60s, the free throws in their 60s. So I don't think it's gonna be a surprise. Yeah,
it's not bad. It's not bad, and I think if I'm sure all Giannis managers punted their free throws.
Yep.
If you're punting your free throws, I could see him being number 1 or number 2. there's gonna be a debate. If you're telling me let's remove free throws, is it Jokic or Giannis? I can't tell you it's really Jokic because
Yep.
Giannis 1.3, 1.4 steals, 1.8 blocks. He has one plus 3 pointers also, and then the other stats are all good. So I think Giannis has a claim to be number one if you're punting free throws.
Elite defensive stats.
And
By
if you
Giannis.
drafted Luka over him, shame on you.
and
I didn't put.
and there's a lot of managers who drafted Luka over him. I am sure about that. I think in all the FBW leagues, I could say only a few, very few, were in Giannis came in earlier.
Oh
That was drafted
yes,
earlier.
I did not put Luka in the losers or the worry players. I'll be putting him soon. I'm sure. He next time we'll talk about him if he had an okay game, but he's out of the top 80. He's out of the
Uh,
top 80.
yeah.
67% free throw again. Joao Pablo. He told me he's gonna be 85% this year.
Joao Pablo
80%.
told you that?
Yes, he said he's gonna improve. And
No, I think
Van
he's
Gogh,
just trying to.
Van Gogh.
85% is too high. I think he
Yeah.
can improve, but not that high, I guess. And Giannis, I heard in a podcast when PJ Tucker was talking about Giannis, and he says really Giannis is a very hardworking player, and you could see it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to get that free throws up to 70%.
You see, this is why you overthink things. I saw Giannis party after the championship. I saw him go everywhere. Went to Greece, went to this, went to that. He went to the AEW wrestling. I was thinking, I think this guy is not taking this break seriously. He just wants to rest. So I was thinking he was not practicing or preparing hard for the season. So I was kind of down on him. So that's one overthinking. I was really overthinking it, and I guess he was still doing things behind the scenes. He was
Yep.
improving other stuff in his game.
Yep. Let's move on to some buy players. Well, let's talk about quick news. The buy low players that are slowly closing the buy low window. PJ Washington had another great game today. LaMelo Ball played really well, and Rozier came back, shot the ball really well today.
Yeah.
So those three Charlotte players,
There-
there's still a little window for PJ. I don't think LaMelo is buy low, or anyone would really sell low on LaMelo. Rozier, let's see, because this
I
is
think
like the second game, right?
I think Rozier still has a little buy low opportunity
Yep.
there. Rozier has, so but it won't be for long. So try to do the deal fast.
Yep. So yeah, those are the buy low opportunity. So you can have. How about some buy players from probably in your waiver, or players you can pick up? Dwight Powell and Dorian Finney-Smith of Dallas. Maxi Kleber went down today. I'm not sure. I have on Maxi Kleber, and
Back strain, I think.
I couldn't even think if I should drop him once again. But yeah, Dwight Powell, Dorian Finney-Smith shouldn't be in your waiver, in your free
Yes.
agent pool.
Well, in 12-team leagues, he might be there.
Yeah.
So,
but in 14, which
14,
a lot of our managers
no,
are in,
yeah.
he shouldn't be there.
Dwight Powell should be there.
Dwight Powell should be there, yes.
Dwight Powell should be there. He is not really that dependable, if you can say, because Dwight Powell has teased us for a lot of seasons already. The potential, he can shoot threes, he can block. He's a big guy who
and
moves
the field
well,
goal is elite.
But after a good game, then the next game he'll be like 4 points, 2 rebounds. That's how he does things. But
I think there's just too many players there in Dallas who can contribute. That Powell is just an afterthought.
Well, now without Kleber and Kristaps, I think he has a chance.
Yeah. So yeah, you can speculatively add Eric Gordon, who is also a player who is being overlooked.
Eric Gordon, you ride him until his legs fall off or whatever.
Yeah.
3 to 4 threes. 3 to 4 threes, and he's a scorer. He's our sixth man.
And today he contributed a lot. I mean, not just the threes.
And I also add someone I didn't put in my worry players who I think people should be worried. Jalen Green. Because we're talking about Eric Gordon. Jalen Green has not looked good. Not sorry, Pinoy fans, but it's real. it's saying the truth. He's done nothing really fantasy wise in real life except score.
Yep.
Or shoot threes, attempt 3-pointers and score. The other parts of his game very raw. The defense, the assist, the passing is not there, the steal's not there, the rebounding, yes, here and there. So I guess Eric Gordon is needed to really help them stay afloat, like a while ago, right?
And it doesn't help as well that Houston is so bad. And it doesn't help Jalen's value that their team is quite bad.
You know what doesn't help him? KPJ. They're not a good combo because KPJ is so erratic, right? He's not steady.
And they play similarly.
Yeah, a little bit.
They just attack the basket. Nothing really there.
And they're flashy.
Yeah, they try to be flashy and also, and they're built the same way. So that might not be a good combo.
If they picked up Ricky Rubio and maybe played Rubio here, it would have been better for Jalen, because right now KPJ, going 1-on-1, and then later the next play Jalen going 1-on-1. The habits are there, it's bad, and then the turnovers are bad. So yeah, hold on to Jalen Green. Do I believe he's going to be a top 100 at the end of the season? Not necessarily. Not for certain. Not like before, but he can get there because scorers like him, like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards last year was really bad also. But by the second half of the season, he was top 25, top 30. So Jalen Green can also do that. But it's uncertain right now. That's what I'm saying. It's not a given that he'll be a top 100.
Yep. Bobby Portis and Larry Nance. Larry Nance played a good game today. Bobby Portis also had a good scoring.
Yes.
We told you about Bobby Portis, Larry Nance, an ad.
In 14-team leagues, yes. I think it's an ad again. He's only 18 minutes still, but he's starting to block again, starting to get the steals. And I watched 2 of their games because I'm watching Lillard. He has been rebounding and crashing the boards hard in the few minutes that he's playing. So if he gives you 8, 9, 10 rebounds, I think that's 14-team worthy because he already has the steals anyway. So he's an ad again.
And just watch the minutes as well. I think the minutes, if it continues to be close to the 20s or a little higher than 20s, he might be rosterable for good. Lastly, Carmelo Anthony.
We mentioned him before. We told you about the schedule of the Lakers. There's still time. It's OKC. There's another Houston game. There's OKC coming up this week. And if you looked at our week 3 analysis, the Lakers are one of the teams that have 3 games only, but all 3 games in quality days. So if Carmelo is somehow still available in your leagues, I think this week at the very least this week, he could contribute and help your team.
Yeah, and again, like I said, the Lakers' offense are more fluid the past few games, so that might be helping the value of Carmelo Anthony. That's our quickie for today. Tomorrow is the start of week 3, and good luck to all the teams. We've had, in our FBW leagues, we've had a barrage of trades this week. I think we had 5 or 6 trades this week. There's another one that was sent today. So far, nothing controversial, nothing. No lopsided ones or something that you would really think too much about, and some low end deals as well. So yeah, and good luck guys on week 3, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye guys.
Bye.